Hello, everybody. Welcome to this live as we join in the small aftermath of the battle down in the south. Small Cairn has been slowly, in the early afternoon, being slowly rebuilt as everyone's kind of recuperating, really. Thrin and a few of the others who didn't make it have been laying down, sheets covering their bodies, and look to be planned to be buried properly in a proper ceremony. But for now, it's about clearing out some of the rubble, the mess. Eventually, the bodies are buried, and it's a quiet procession. They're buried in the back far part of the village, so they kind of have an onlooking view. And they're buried as Runfer puts down small parts of oak seeds into the graves. It's almost as if they are representing the sacrifice that they made into the rebuilding process. For the rest of you, it's kind of been a quiet, more somber event, really. Most people are kind of still amazed to be alive, really. The main hall has been kind of lugged out, and people are kind of just lounging around, sitting, organizing. Runfer has been a very busy man. When you kind of come to the main courtyard of the main hall, you'll see him still rubbing his beard, obviously looking over some maps that are laying down crudely over some of the now turned over tables. You'll see Lily, you'll see Helga, and you'll see Eric Trimbenson so far residing. You're not sure where Ulfar is, Maria, or Leaf at the minute, but you can just see them for now at least. While Runfer seems to be plotting and planning, you see Sandra pitter-pattering around, like obviously in one of the other buildings, trying to salvage what she can. Really, she seems to be just busy all day, every day, working. That type of vibe. So, Alice and Charlotte will arrive to this scene.
Ooh. All right, you said they're all just sat around tables. What are the others
Apart
doing
from
while Roomfer is?
Roomfer is somewhere. You can see him just at the entrance. Remember that back room where all the stuff was? That's where he is.
Mhm.
He's kind of looking over maps of the area from which he just seems to be deep in thought, essentially.
Jesus. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Alice for a second, and I'll try to figure out what the hell Charlotte's life is.
Alice slowly ambles over to the table where people are sitting and looks for bacon.
There's bits of food. No, sadly not bacon, but there are bits of like remainders of stew. There's remainders of bread. From whatever left of the pantry was, there's enough for a decent breakfast. And sadly, though, there's no bacon. Everyone seems depressed about that.
Fuck it. Like Arthur Morgan before her, she'll take the stew, and the bread, and the coffee, and some biscuits. And we'll sit next to Lily.
Lily's idly there, sitting there, probably munching on some of the bread. She still has a couple of scars on the side of her neck, you know what I mean? It just looks nasty.
I took a walk around, and local wildlife does not seem too jazzed about this place anymore.
I'll come back in time.
Yeah, I guess.
Pretty risky thing you did.
Yeah, I know.
For a number of reasons. She takes a bite.
To be honest with you, I didn't even know what was going to happen.
That's what the problem is when you raise the banner. Nobody knows.
Well, I do now. I'm gonna say the same thing to you that I plan on saying to the others if it comes up. We were about to be overrun and the Karen was at stake. I don't regret shit.
She nods idly. She just gives them her. As long as you give your reasons and they're justifiable, I don't think Siggy will have too much issue with it. Besides, spirit heritage is so fascinating. She like plays idly with some of your hair.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was going to glow either. That was not...
Don't worry. Like I said, spirit heritage is fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of shit I didn't know about a lot, but that was an experience.
Well, she just taps the side of your head.
I could consult them, I know.
Next time, think about it. She's a smirk. She just takes a bite.
I mean, hell, you were on death's doorstep. Just about everybody else was.
I know. That's why nobody's complaining.
Yeah. Fuck. All the trees are fucked. All of them.
There. I know. She'll look over. It will rebuild in time. The Karen is probably going to help with that.
Yeah. True.
My brother's wife will do her work as per usual. She's very talented with the trees and the herbs.
It's probably better those two come down here anyway.
Really? Why'd you say that?
They need the numbers. We lost people taking this place.
Did? Well, my mother won't be too pleased.
At risk of my life and well-being, I think someone of her age, respect, and experience will get the fuck over it.
Do you have children, Alice?
Not that I know about.
Mother always did worry about Eric. He never did follow along quite like we did. Different fathers, you see.
Gotcha.
He's the oldest. But his father left. So I think Maria, my mother, attributes that to Eric's wild ways and longing for adventure. She shrugged idly. She thought Torvi would be a good match, however, he seems quite endeared by her. The Carlos do with such a fascinating tendency for bloodline.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Look, bigger picture is good that at least somebody from the Trimbuson name's down here.
Shrugs. Eric goes where he wants to go.
He does.
But my mother is displeased as Torvi was connected to many things in a different way, Alice.
What am I supposed to do about that?
Nothing.
Besides, I got the whole Clausen thing to think about.
What's there to think about? You're getting married. Takes a drink, smirking.
Lily, I don't even know the girl.
So?
I mean, you think that would matter for a functional marriage?
Coughs. Really, yeah, you think that.
Or so I've come to understand over time, yes.
These are the old ways, Alice. This is actually quite common practice. From what I remember, Lena did not know her husband either when she met him before she changed. Samantha and Ajax didn't know each other either. They met a year before they were deemed to marry.
Huh.
Samantha's a very strong woman. She takes a drink, takes a long swig of whatever, like meat or water's there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true. That is 100% true. Yeah, yes.
Marcel came over to ask for her hand. Juno's, if I remember correctly, yeah. Walked up right to Ajax.
I heard a thing or two about what happened to that boy.
My mother told me. After all, he needed to learn his place, didn't he?
Or something of the sort.
He carries the mark of obedience. Drinks a swig.
Ain't my farm, ain't my donkey. At least not in that respect.
About to be if you're marrying the Clausens. Oh boy, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
get very protective over your wife. She says eyes are raising.
Yeah, if I like that's assuming whoever it is still the fuck alive when I even get there.
Just look over. If you think Sigurd Clausen is going to be dead by the time his daughter's not married, then you don't know Sigurd Clausen very well.
No, I'm saying whoever else is presenting whatever kind of threat or even fucking looks at her funny, that's a dead person we're talking about.
Of course she's a Clausen.
Hell, I better be more fucking scared of pissing her off than anything else.
You should. Smirking.
I don't know, man. Like I try to like communicate and talk, and it's like
They're tough people.
they are. Like I feel like I'm gonna have to fucking rear naked choke a grizzly bear before we can even start.
Which one are you marrying?
As I open this up and I look down through this list. There we are. Talia?
You're marrying Talia. She leaned back. Talia. Wow.
Man, she
Firm woman. She just nod.
yeah. Day one of meeting her, she just shows up and is like, You're gonna be in my tent and we're getting married. And I'm like, oh, I see.
Did you not tell her, no, we're going to be in my tent?
No, I was a little fucking carried away with the events of the day, man. Everybody was fucking all kinds of ways and shit. And then this drop dead gorgeous woman says, we're going to fuck. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to fuck.
Do you Redmonds know of the traditional ways?
In like an academic sense. When
Ah,
we came over, we had to adapt. And
just pat Alice like, oh, you. I fucked a Clausen boy once. He said, come to my tent, and I punched him and said, we're going to mine.
ain't we not supposed to hit kinfolk?
He laughed and went with me. He seemed oddly proud of me for doing it.
Huh.
Standing my ground, he said. It's respectable and honorable.
Yeah.
It's a good sign of a guru, he said.
Okay.
They don't want to hurt. Clausens don't intend to hurt you. They want you to stand on your own 2 feet in the harsh, cold weather.
I've been doing plenty of fucking that. You know that thing's fucking hand was like the size of me?
You should more worry about why she's telling you to do it rather than overanalyzing it like you always do. She stands up.
Speaking of overanalysis, like the thing we talked about earlier, is there like a tryout? Do I got to punch Leaf in the dick? Like,
Gives an eyebrow raise. You want to join my pack?
you're the one making all the creepy eye contact and being like, "You are mine."
I was talking to the spirit, but if that's the way you want to take it, gives you an eyebrow. Smirking. Besides, I thought you were with Carves, Alice.
Man, I don't know where the fuck I am half the time. Like, he was talking about tryouts and shit, and fucking I'm hanging out with Marcel. I don't fucking know anymore. I know what I'm doing, man.
See? smile. Who knows, Alice? Who knows what I want? She kind of like playfully bips her nose and starts to walk off.
And fucking Alice is just sitting there thinking, man, shouldn't be seeing women. And in spite of herself, is staring at Lily's ass.
Why are you trimming so weirdly attractive? As Charlotte pitters in, she will see the gang. She'll actually probably see Alice be bipped on the nose by Lily as Lily's walking towards the back to look for Sandra, essentially.
Yep.
But she'll see these two sitting down and Alice.
Yeah, she will just plunk it wherever there's an open spot. Because coffee and food, and no one's going to give her shit for sitting down to get some.
Nope.
Yeah, she plunked down, glanced over at Alice. Then after a brief moment, like glimpses, goes ahead and reaches for food, pulls things in front of her, glances again to see if she's still doing it, and finally is like, Alice, if I could manifest a spray bottle by sheer force of will.
Don't take this from me.
Shakes her fucking head. Glances over at the other two.
Eric is eating. Helga's like, just idly staring in at Rune Fur, but pretty much this expression like in the picture. There's like bits of like food and stuff around her.
Good. Glance over at Helga. Perpetual state of planning.
He's always busy.
Better than being idle.
You'd think he'd sit down and celebrate, though. But he wouldn't be eagle if he didn't. Smirking.
He kind of flicks a glance back towards where Runefur is, all over this fucking table and maps and papers, and it's just like, doesn't take his eyes off the prize.
My cousin never does. Just smirk.
No, I think I get it.
Meanwhile, my eyes are the prize. She like lifts up the mead and takes a long swig of it.
There's a turnaround glance. Wait.
Just look over. Lead in. I have to, court the brother of the Riefenstahl.
There's a snort into the coffee. Tries to fucking play it off.
Although I'll probably just bring him here. After all, he seems so eager. Just smirk, and Eric's just like, ah.
And just throw him
Big
over your
fat
shoulder.
dog.
Call it good.
I offered, and he seemed quite excited by that prospect.
I'm not sure I can even blame him.
Smirking. Just don't tell Alice. She seems to get this weird look on her face every time I talk about her brother.
With the constipated look?
Nod.
Yeah, she'll just awkward really hard. You'll be fine.
I was going to invite her over for dinner when we get this place set up, but
Why not?
I probably will. Just to see it.
I mean, I feel like that's a treasure trove of watching Alice make faces for hours. I'm not sure I could turn that down. Kind of still got the coffee up over her mouth.
She'll lean in. I think she was expecting me to be awkward about it, but I'm not really. I'm all for being happy families.
I mean, if you've got the fucking chemistry, why not?
I mean, I'll just answer the door in my dress, so just smirk.
What, you just gonna do it on the spot? Just so she doesn't have time to back out or do anything about it?
Yep.
Can I come? Because I feel like that the faces that she will make.
Sadly, she pats Charlotte's head. I'm not marrying into your family. Well, more like he's marrying into mine. Let's get this straight. She kind of rolls up a finger.
It's just the very like, oh, well, excuse.
I'm an Ulrichson after all.
Suppose you gotta do shit right.
Mm-hmm. Let me just gotta get the grim bastard married. Just smirk.
Which one?
Although he would leave.
Oh.
Although getting Leaf married is like waiting for the great Fenris to come from his hollowed halls. There's like a, you know what I mean? There's like a zoom in.
Like, I wouldn't. She's just very innocently, like, offside, looking away, like, I wouldn't write it off as a lost cause.
Leans in. What do you know?
What, me? I mean, I'm just a
Mhm.
glass walker. What would I know?
She leans
Just
over, puts her
grinning.
arm around you, so you just like slowly are just up against her big arm. I mean, I'll tell Runfer and he'll run the fuck over here.
And then Leaf would catch on and skin me.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like either way I'm fucked. I could either answer and Leaf would be mad, or I could not answer and get punched by everyone else.
Why
It's
would
kind of a
I?
toss-up, really.
Why would I tell Leaf? Do you know what he'll say? He'll be like, Helga, why would you? Hmm.
You might make the startled face first.
He will, and then he'll hide in his books for hours on end and pretend I'm not there.
I mean, most people awkward off. It's a pretty valid tactic.
Just pat you on the head. What do you know? And please, for the love of God, tell me it's not a Shadow Lord.
It's definitely not a Shadow Lord.
Oh, thank God. She takes a long swig.
I don't know if they're going that serious yet or at all.
Who isn't?
How many people did you meet while you were on set? Kind of glances over.
Hold up a hand, like shaking, like, yeah. A couple of people. Met this really, really loud Fianna. Kept squawking at me.
Oh, the table singer.
Hmm.
Yeah, he does that. It's kind of discombobulating. But yeah, I mean, you met my fiance, right?
Oh boy, did I. She takes a drink.
Great. He has a twin.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
Nods.
And it's nice to see that she and Leaf are getting along well.
I see.
I don't-
Trimpearson looks over at Eric.
Follows the glance.
Eric sticks his head up. Trimpearson.
She just kind of picks the hands up like, I'm putting the cover my ass kind of seal on this, as in I only know so much, but I can hope. They both
Which one?
deserve to be
Which
happy.
one? Which one?
Freya? Maybe?
He takes a long swallow, like, no way.
Maybe?
No way.
There's like the little, like, she's got that squinty face of like, I think so, but I can only confirm so much. Maybe?
Freya.
Yeah.
Huh. Freya. Helga's like, explain. Eric takes out a phone and like holds a picture over and you just hear Helga.
Man,
lets
this
out a
coffee
whistle,
though.
like, whoo. Oh. Her.
I mean, as far as I could tell.
I should congratulate him. I didn't think he had it in him.
Apparently he does.
Lets out a whistle and Runfer walks over. Shows Runfer the phone. Leans down. Oh, you grim fuck. Look at that. Looks at Charlotte. Oh, makes that noise.
Is just grinning. It's a pairing I support. I hope it works out.
Good. That means he doesn't have to marry fucking. Shakes his head, smiling.
What? Who?
We were planning to marry him to Bethany with the hips. Helga snorts.
Bethany with the hips, like glancing over to Helga at the snort.
Bethany with the hips is a kinfolk. She's a very pretty lady. And then lets out another snort.
There's like she
Like,
is
nearly
and is
wheezing.
facing.
She's
What?
known as Bethany. Bethany the Well-Eaten. That's what we called her.
That's you guys, the title system you guys got going on. Kind of shaking her head like Jesus Christ.
Something wrong with a woman with sturdy hips, Charlotte. Poof, get you on the back with his hand, like patting.
I'm surprised he doesn't just smack her on the hip. Fucking.
He does. Bam.
I hope not. I'm
I
fucked.
mean, your husband doesn't seem to think so. There's like a chuckle, like from all three of the get.
Just shakes her head a bit, like, yeah, I see how it is. Fixation on the hips.
And what about Riefenstahl? Are you getting married, Riefenstahl? Sits down. Eventually. What man tamed Riefenstahl?
That's not a man.
Oh! Nods back at Helga like, oh, look at that. Good. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm
Takes a
still
long swig.
figuring that out.
Figuring it out.
I mean, there's a lot that goes into these kinds of things.
You have asked her, yes?
It's kind of like the reverse. She came to me.
Ah, nods sagely. As if he knows exactly what you're talking about.
Who?
You remember that girl, Talia?
The one you went off with after the yeah.
Yeah.
Did she lead with that?
Like
that night?
Yeah.
What? You consider maybe like
What is this expression in his face?
You considered maybe getting to know her a little before you put a ring on it? Maybe
I've been working on it. All right, we talked and stuff.
Do you guys ever leave the tent together ever? Because
We
I don't
went
see you together outside of the tent, but I hear all kinds of stories about the weird noises that come out of it. Side glance.
We go and we eat, and maybe I was figuring if there was time when we get back, because we're so busy, we could go hunt deer or something. And it's not like we don't talk. There's talking involved.
What does she do besides you? What does she do?
Let me think here. It hunts mostly, and she's good carpenter.
You don't even know, do you?
Does carpentry.
Does she?
Yeah.
Are you just pulling that out of your ass? Side eye?
No, she made this big wood thing she showed me one time, and I was like, that's a big thing.
There's a pause and a blink, like, what do you mean a big thing?
Like, it was like, it's like a really big fucking chair, but it was like really detailed on sides and the top and the legs.
She made a throne for the Riefenstahl. All the get Drake's company nod. They start chuckling.
There's face rubbing. So much face rubbing.
Theurge arrives as well as he just plonks himself down to get some food.
But yeah, no, she makes all kinds of crazy shit out of wood.
Just rubbing her face.
Oh yeah, you are marrying Talia Clausen. That's going to be interesting. Smirk. Garrick will.
Aren't the Clausens? Isn't She's like obviously trying to put names and faces together in her head.
There may or may not have been an incident involving my great-grandfather's head being catapulted into the middle of town.
Yep, there you go. That's the one.
It was actually a great grandfather. Actually, I took a long swig.
Regardless, the way the story is told, they had constructed a catapult out of various sundry materials and launched it in the middle of the day. We only found the catapult.
And that's fine?
I
Like
mean,
glancing around like, is this weird to anyone but me? Anyone?
I mean, to be fair, we're talking like 4 generations ago at this point.
You say that like most people don't like grow up knowing at least 3 generations worth of their family or 2 or more in person.
I know, and I have a very detailed understanding of some past enmities, but I figure things gotta go a certain way eventually.
Isn't Clausen a big
with the beard and the tattoos on the sides of his head? Yes.
The creepy eyes?
I wouldn't call them creepy. He's an
ironically,
intense
yes,
individual.
she is saying that and is not referring to him. Weirdly enough.
Root for her to smirk and say, I mean, families marry into each other to appease old wounds. A lot of the time, it's normally a marriage is a sign of a healthy relationship among our people.
She just kind of picks the hands up like, okay.
I mean, no offense, Charlotte, but you're the glasswalker here. You have about as much knowledge of the great Gate of Fenris as I do about your computer logics.
Yeah, fair.
So
you say it's legit.
I think you should, in all fairness, little miss, learn to be a bit more appreciative. Pat her on the shoulder. It's condescending to Alice. If she wants to marry the girl, let her marry her.
Fair?
Smirking. If she thinks it's right for her family and her family thinks it's right for her, well, who are we to judge? Spreads his hands.
Oh yeah, it's going to be another series of interesting conversations because I got to talk to people on my side of things who I'm not sure have been fully informed. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Helga. You're going to have to go through the same shit.
No, she takes a drink.
What do you mean, no? There's going to be a marriage. People have to show up.
Who says I'm marrying him?
Well, what else are you going to do?
Fuck him.
She just pulls up a scoreboard on her phone and with her finger is like drawing the little first tally mark. Literally just pulls up a little program and is with her finger just drawing the scoreboard, puts a tally.
Alice looks like she's trying to resist the urge to vomit in her mouth a little bit.
I'm going to take your brother here. We're going to settle in and have a house. And then we're going to fuck each other silly.
I mean, like...
every day.
Why do you... Tally. Can we just move past the fucking...
every day.
I mean, you asked. I'm just saying.
I will get into detail.
What about the future and shit?
There will be a table. There will be a kit. There will be gloves. There will be many things that I will do.
Okay. All right. I understand that that's going to happen. But like your kids, man.
And when I am good and ready and satisfied and sparks filled, this roofer is like,
Charlotte's fucking dying.
Oh no.
I will consider marrying him, but only when both of us are good and ready. For now, well, she takes a smirk at Alice and raises her glass. And then Eric will go to being filled.
Fucking Charlotte even picks up a glass to that, like, yeah.
No, there's a mental image. I'm never going to recover.
Pear just nods. He sits down beside Eric, like, yes, filling is good.
Oh, no, not you too.
I mean, it's
pretty good, Alice. Try it sometime. Snicker.
That's not how things work.
Really, says the lady who has met this girl and fucked her a couple of times and are now marrying her.
I mean, not that part. I'm saying there's no real filling that goes on.
Puts another tally on for Helga for that fucking sweet burn.
Smirks. Like I said, Alice, I will decide when I want to marry your brother, if I indeed want to marry him.
This isn't a Boston cream situation.
It's very much creamy.
Oh no!
Eric is totally not wheezing. Like you just see him coughing, and Runfer's like, "Alice, you're up against a rag and bash. My advice."
It's 4-0 right now. Alice, she like
Oh,
puts the finger down, like she just
yes.
laid the phone down, reaches over, like whoop.
Runfer will lean over. Listen, Riefenstahl. I like you, but you're ruining your own. You're fighting a losing battle, Riefenstahl. She's a ragabash.
Who's
This
going
is
to
an
take care of the
adorable
ranch? Oh God, Cassidy's going to be in charge of the ranch. He's going to kill all the cows.
I'll go smirk. I mean, I'll just have him bring the cows down here.
Okay, Cassidy can only do so much damage to the property.
Besides, I'm sure they'll need plenty of milking.
Just puts one across the other 4. She's not even hiding it. It's just laying face up on the fucking table at this point.
Tears
I
takes
close my eyes. I'm going to puke.
Ulfar takes a long drink. Milking is a healthy thing to do, Alice.
Adds a fucking box for the carriage. Puts a tally in it.
Okay, we're going to move away from everything to do with my brother. Okay?
You just say my brother.
My fucking twin brother.
Charlotte's losing it.
Yeah, how good smirks taking her drink.
There, in my immediate family alone, there are 16 of us,
Mm-hmm.
and he's my twin. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm saying.
Are you saying you want to visit?
I will likely visit from time to time.
Oh, that's great. Helga says with this endearing smile. Make sure I answer the door every time.
Great, wonderful, fuck.
I even let you sleep in the guest room.
I will probably be visiting and eating and then going back.
Oh, no, Alice. You gonna reject my hospitality?
No.
Yeah, that's just rude.
Mm-hmm. You'll have to stay the night. Tradition demands it.
I see.
Guest room's right beside our room, so you know there's no complications.
Great, fucking great. That's wonderful. How thoughtful of you.
I am a very thoughtful woman, Alice. Rejecting hospitality is bad, you know.
Good job, well aware.
Charlotte has never been more happy to be a single child in her fucking life.
I haven't lived in a house in a while now.
You know, that seems like a you thing and a spite thing.
Look, y'all know why I do that.
You know I can afford the apartment next to mine, I've told you.
Y'all know why I do that.
I mean, I can't offer it to Melanthe until she's done doing her thing, but...
Gotta get closer to spirits.
Do you? Because the last time you were out there, you ran out screaming voices in my head, no.
Okay, so maybe dead people talk to me an awful lot these days.
You know what helps with that?
What?
A nice fucking apartment. As opposed to staying in the place where they talk the most. I'm just saying.
And every time I started the fire again, always in the back of my head, oh, fucking fire. You just had to be a fucking fire, didn't it, you fucking cunt? And fucking, I can't deal with it. He's the loudest one.
You know what we don't have in the apartments?
What?
Fireplaces. We have central heating.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, there are things that keep houses warm that are not fire these days, Alice. It's a thing. We have air conditioning, too. It's all the rage.
Look, man, I mostly just chop a lot of logs, drag a lot of logs, A lot of log-based activities in my normal day. Hang out with Marcel.
Yeah, the Ravens are arriving as well. The Leaf sits down beside Helga. Lily and Maria sit together, and yeah, everyone's pretty much congregated. You can hear Sandra just working away, humming.
Sometimes we play throw rock. Usually it's just watching birds.
How's the camera working out for him?
Really fucking good. You'd think he'd be more awkward with those huge hands, but he makes it work.
Shrugs. Glances over as everyone else is hunkering down, like scooches over as necessary.
He always throws a rock farther than me.
That is because he is way bigger than you. That's just fucking science.
I tried to do it all fancy one time, like them shot putters do with the spins and shit, and I nearly hit him.
Just shakes her fucking head.
Yeah, everyone else seems to be just eating and drinking.
Are people mostly put together yet?
Few people are, few people aren't.
Yeah, but look at this. It's Maria who has stories that will completely overtake all topics pertaining to me.
Maria just kind of gives you that look as she's taking a drink, like, what?
Oh, we're talking about Alice's love life.
Okay.
It's been thrilling. It's been a journey.
And by journey, I mean...
She, like, holds up the little scoreboard. Helga's winning.
Ah. Okay. Well, were you wanting the story? What the fuck do you want? You know, she kind of gives, you know, a swig of her drink.
I was trying to flick things.
No, yeah, she's just
Well,
trying to change the subject.
When the fuck are we going back? Just smirk.
I mean, I imagine once things are put together, for that matter, people are to a certain extent.
I prefer to just say very casually. You can go back when you like. We're more or less set up here. We've got a few people. Word has been sent to people at home, and I imagine. Look over at Eric. You're meeting Torvi halfway, so he'll be back. So we've got some people coming.
Meeting her halfway? Yeah, glances back over.
He'll nod. Yeah, I want to make sure she's all right.
Of course.
Besides, she's with her brother, so that's at least something.
It's definitely something.
Just nods, rubbing his beard. You just stand up and walk out. Very odd. You know, just idly.
Kind of perks a brow and glances after. Glances over to, like, I don't know, Runefur. Because he was the one who mentioned it earlier. Like, wait.
Shrugs. I think this is his first time being in a pack in a long while. He'll lean over and whisper. We brought him in this morning.
Oh. You doing okay?
He is all right. He is worried about his wife, and he is worried about a lot of things.
Aren't we all?
Shrugs. I understand you're marrying into his family, so you probably have a bit more insight than I would. I'm only learning what he wants to tell me.
I mean, truth be told, I'm still kind of the token glasswalker. I'm picking it up as I go.
Shrug. Eric has a number of concerns, especially with his wife's condition.
There's a brow quirk.
The look over. I've said too much.
Just kind of glances off like I didn't hear shit, essentially. Does that. That's none of my business. Sip out of the coffee.
Yeah, and Lily and Maria seem to be chatting away, and Leaf is getting like inquisitively chatted to by Helga. Like, I mean, she's just at him, and he's just slowly eating.
He's just watching her talk at him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Theurge seems to be chilling the fuck out in his own, eating away, as the weird Theurge does.
You do. She'll glance around the party for a minute. She'll go ahead and finish her food. Stick the bowl, rinse it, whatever they've got going on there. I imagine it's still kind of jury-rigged everything, but
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much that.
We'll stick it wherever they're sticking those. And we'll take up the coffee and idly follow Eric.
You see him out by the main courtyard, and he lingers by the edge of the village, idly.
Yeah, she'll just wander out after him, toting the coffee and everything, keeping it low key, glancing over, lifting a hand if he looks over.
Eventually, he'll turn and see you coming, because eventually he'll hear you.
Yeah, she ain't being sneaky. Everything okay?
Just kind of raises an eyebrow. Yes.
All right. Sorry if I misread. Just
Did you need something? You kind of give, you know, it's a kind of like, is something after, it's that type of thing, is something after happening type look.
no, nothing crazy's going on. Just checking in.
Things are, of course, concerned. We've got a new life ahead of us.
Pretty promising, though, all things considered. Kind of glances back, like, yeah, this is the remains of a village, but it's going to be another whole new thing. She's looking ahead, so.
A nod. It is. We, of course, have to make some changes, but they can't be unmade. And, well, we've done a great thing.
Yeah. Giving this place a chance to start over. It's the best time to be moving down, settling, looking ahead.
A nod. It's good to be free to do what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Has it been different?
Different?
Shrugs.
What do you mean?
Saying it's good to have freedom tends to imply that there was a time you didn't.
You know who my mother is.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend that she is not an influential woman who gets what she wants.
That is true.
In the end, if you do not adhere to her ways, she will cast you off. Even if you don't fully understand them at first. Or have no desire to.
Oh, I will, Let's be honest. Probably never even going to see that whole thing.
Probably. You should hope not.
He kind of glances over curiously.
It's an old way. I don't understand it. But it's an old way. I know stories of old members of our tribe who would wander into the wild to fight bears bare-chested and do many different things.
No, I don't imagine that kind of thing is ever going to even brush past me.
Into the family.
Hmm?
You're marrying Felix.
I am.
I know who Felix's father is. My uncle. My uncle.
I've gotten the best impression I can between old family photos and stories.
Have you? Raise an eyebrow.
I mean, I didn't take this many steps towards this without thinking, without asking. Without trying to understand as best I could. I mean, I'm never going to be Get Fenris. I'm never going to have the kind of history, but I'm trying to do the best I can.
But the people who come after you will probably, if they breed strong enough.
They might.
If their name is Trimbenson, they will carry a legacy behind them, as we all do.
She finally pops Celine against whatever's closest. Probably a post. The trees aren't looking so good. I guess so.
There's no guessing. This is what our blood is. Gesture around.
She does take a long look around. It's a lot to carry.
It is. And that's what we're bred for. To carry it. Do you want to know how I lost this eye?
Yeah.
It was my rite of passage. We were sent out into the wild. I remember my mother telling me that if I did not come back, that she would weep for her son and mourn the Fenrir I should have been. Three weeks we spent in the wild. And I was to sing of the tale, of my survival, my endurance, to test the mantle. This wasn't in Woolsmall, you see, this was miles away, where the Trimberton clan came from. Fafnir's brood. You've been to the north, yes?
Yeah, I was part of the group that came up.
Then you'll know the cold.
Yeah.
I lost this eye fighting a bear. I crawled into the sleep. You lift up the eye and, there's a big scar where the fucking eye was literally torn. You'd be handsome if you didn't. You know what I mean? If it's that type of thing.
I mean, yeah, he lifts up the patch, and there's not like that wince, like, oh my god, just kind of that sympathetic nose wrinkle you get, like, ooh.
Puts it back down again. But I climbed into its guts and slept and stayed warm. I came back in the bear's hide and told my tale of enduring. There was no spirit, there was no great prophecy. There was just myself and the will to carry it. That is what it means to be Fenrir. I don't need an ancient tie to a wolf, to a totem, to whatever theurges preach. I have here, you put in his heart, points to his head, and here. That is what the great wolf teaches us. Survival.
He just nods. Makes sense.
Most of you are our tribe, and some of the others will not understand it, but they do not carry the same weight as we do. That is our job. That is our role in the nation.
Suppose so. Kind of rubs the back of her head.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. You carry a different weight. We all have to carry the same weight if we want to win. Just depends on how we carry it.
Yeah, of course. It's just strange to think that I could pass on a weight I never carried to my kids.
Teach them to be strong. Be the example for them.
It's kind of a vague grin. I feel like our definitions of strong vary.
They will remember you when you go. They will sing tales of you when you leave. You decide what those tales will be. A woman who carried judgment of fairness and equality, or a harsh woman who carried tales of doom and judgment for forestalling. They will also call you mother. If you can mix the two with fondness, I think you have done well.
I dare say that Tales of Doom doesn't sound very much like me.
I've heard stories of how you can deliver judgment quick enough. Does that make it a bad thing to be able to have the will to carry out the right judgment?
She just kind of nods. Your point.
People are far too eager to point out the negative of being a strong-willed person who's willing to do what they need to do.
Suppose they are. God, they always are.
Why did you come out here? To see me? Just gives a raised eyebrow.
Just wanted to check on you. I mean, I've only known you and Torvi a very short amount of time, but I like seeing you together. It's just
She is a
something
gentle.
very good about it.
She's a gentle soul.
She nods agreement. And when you walked out when she was mentioned, I thought maybe you were concerned. I thought maybe there was something I could do.
You are not a theurge. I
Mhm.
don't mean that with any disrespect. But Torvi, the people who come from her are gifted and cursed with sight.
It's a
There is
hell
a
of a
reason.
thing.
Torvi I do not like up in the cold. She sees too many things. Tells me too many things that she sees. I will not have her used as some sort of weapon to understand what they can be seen. She's my wife. Not a spirit.
Just kind of nods agreement.
And if my mother has such a disagreement with that, she can march down here. But I fear she'll lose the duel like she lost in Runfer again.
Seems to be how it goes when you're fighting for the right reasons, doesn't it?
My mother is not a bad woman.
No, she's just driven.
I think it's a... We'll look over. Like I said, we all carry the weight.
Yeah.
She grew up like we did. In a far colder world. Spread his hands. She's only doing best for her people.
And you'll be doing best for your wife.
I am. That's why I'm bringing her here. Where she can wander in the forest without being troubled by the things she sees.
It's a thoughtful nod.
It does concern me, but who knows with these things? I'm not a theurge. I know the stories. Who knows if they're actually real or not, but she gets weaker sometimes because of
No.
them. I talked to her father. He said it is common that when you are touched, even if you're not a guru, the things you see, they leave a mark.
Suppose they do. But at least now, she kind of like taps her temple. At least now, she'll be here. Where there is a Theurge. I imagine the way he seems to be, he sees all manner of things himself. She'll have someone who's an authority on the matter.
And that is part of my concern that they are real. There are many Theurges in Wolvesmaw. They seem more intrigued by her visions rather than worried. Which leaves me uneasy.
I can see why you'd want to get her out.
I have, and I will. My sister has been one of those who have been intrigued. If I know my sister,
There's a kind of inquisitive glance.
Lily as always. Lily is a Theurge. And she's of our blood. And she is more like my mother than most. Seadrake has touched her in a way that she will never truly understand. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
The way she looks on the other side?
It's more than just looking.
Yeah, it is.
What does a dragon do with the things that are precious? Even a drake.
Kind of wrinkles her nose.
Did you never hear the bedtime stories?
Oh, I did. Just when you start applying the premise to people.
You shrug. From what I hear, she's a fantastic alpha.
I'm not wrong.
There are good and bad sides to everything, Charlotte.
Of course.
I will be heading back with you all to collect Torvi. If you wish to hear her visions, I will let you hear them, for you are not a person that will use it as a weapon.
I admit to being curious.
I'm not going to waste time threatening you with stuff that would happen if you hurt her. I think we both know.
I wouldn't dream of it.
That includes your friends.
I
Whoever you may
understand.
bring. Whoever you may bring. They have the same warning.
I understand too well how important it is to do everything to protect someone you care about.
Like I
You
said,
wouldn't even have a chance to get at them before I did.
I'm not going to waste time. Too much people waste time with threats.
She just nods.
I think you noticed I'm a man of action, if anything. Starts smirking.
She finally grins. I still don't think anyone's ever going to beat that.
Lena may be my aunt, but what she did was uncalled for, and I decided to challenge her on it.
You
I made
did.
sure you made a point of you made a very snooty point of making sure everybody tell you. So I was in the middle of being angry, so I decided to yell at you.
You know what? You met the demands of the Philodox. I really can't complain about the style in which you did it.
Just nods, like fucking right you can't.
Just grinning.
Were you there when Juno fell?
Yeah.
Did she die well?
Yeah.
Nod. I had not seen her in a long time.
It was appropriately brutal, but she did what needed to be done.
Appropriately brutal.
I don't think I've ever heard glorious tales of a Geta Fenris who went down peacefully.
Nods. Very true.
It was an end worth retelling.
I had heard, but I heard you were a pack with her.
I was. We weren't
Nod.
still back when it was all over, but
I've heard.
yes.
I'm a Galliard, remember?
Grants. Suppose so. It's weird to think your stories are worth telling that far.
I also pay particular attention as Juno is my family.
Fair enough.
I'm glad you were with her at the end.
Just kind of nods. Glad too.
I will not be there to protect my family, as I would have liked to. Here needs me. But keep an eye on Freya, and I know you're marrying Felix, but keep an eye on Freya too. I know
always
what
do.
happened.
I have and do. Don't worry.
Nod. And of course, tell Lena I don't regret punching her in the face. It was worth it. Smirk.
You know, you're going up there. You could tell her yourself.
I probably will, but make sure she knows I don't regret it. It's always good to hear from a second person.
Oh,
Nod.
second opinion. Very important. Noted.
Especially if you're coming from a different tribe. Pats her shoulder. Means I extra mean it.
Oh. Oh, little did I know.
Well, now you do. As he starts to, walk past you.
She grins and, yeah, we'll turn about to kind of put her back towards the group. Though she does take a glance around while she's out there and make a couple mental notes to herself.
Yeah, and things seem to be, getting back together slowly. Alice, what are you doing in the meantime?
Alice had her fill of food and being mercilessly roasted. So knowing that the group's heading out pretty fucking soon, she has started packing her shit and trying to figure out who's going to be the most limpy McGee on the way back.
I mean, most people are right. Lily's the worst, but she's kind of been propped up by Maria and Leaf. Like, Lily took, I think, one of the heaviest beatings. Leaf is not too bad. He's shrugging it off.
It is not quite Alice's place yet to let Lily ride her like a pony, in the most literal sense of that. So, she kind of leaves that alone.
Yeah, and eventually you guys, Charlotte, Alice, you guys are with these crowd, like literally, they're ready and standing outside the fucking thing.
She'll take a moment before completely joining the group. I mean, she's got to grab her shit anyways, but we'll pause over to have a word with Runefur.
Sure.
As I make you jump between many pictures.
Yep.
So yeah, she'll come back over. I assume he has re-ensconced himself in his planning room of planning.
Super awesome planning room is ready to go. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, she'll come over to like lean in on the door frame, like give it a rap with her knuckles.
He looks up from the super awesome planning room of planning.
God damn it, why are we such children? She kind of just pops up a glance. I know you've put out the word to your own people, but I thought I'd ask on the off chance. If there are any kin back in Hearthsfire looking for a change of pace, would you be opposed to me putting out the word that you're taking Able Hands?
Is that an offer from you? Smirk.
My Able Hands involve electronics and heavy machinery.
That could be used here too.
I've got things to wrap up before I can think about going anywhere.
Well, you're as alpha now of the Kern. Nods proudly, like, yeah.
She grins.
You are welcome. With your mate, if you wish to settle down here. I will not stop you.
Oh, much appreciated.
Consider it a token of friendship and services repaid for helping settle an old debt.
She nods. I'll keep it in mind.
I tried to convince Leaf to stay, but he seems hell-bent on going back to Hearthsfire.
He's got things to accomplish too.
The grim fuck always wanted to do things his own way anyway. Smirk fondly.
He does.
Besides, I don't think he could leave his precious books. That's a chuckle.
No, there's no way in hell you'll get him out here till you build a library. I'm just letting you know.
I told him I would build the biggest library, and he did not believe me.
He just didn't believe you?
Shakes his head. I admit I was lying, but
Yeah, that gets her. It's almost like he knows. It's almost like it's literally his job to know.
the last time we convinced him, we bought him those Maisie Gray books from that you get on the airplanes. We bought him a lot of them. He was not happy.
Oh,
I did
my
not hear
God.
about it for weeks on end. Weeks on end.
See, at least I get him proper hardcovers. Jeez. Gotta up your bribe game.
I know, but why would I go to a proper bookstore? He gestures at himself, at his face.
You could, I mean, who knows? Maybe most big, scary biker people are well educated and nobody thinks to talk twice with them about the Civil War.
Shrugs.
Grins.
This was in the middle of Scandinavia, Charlotte.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah,
Take care of the Grimfuck, will you?
absolutely.
You two seem very close.
Yeah. I don't know what I do for him, but he keeps me even keel. Can't complain.
I didn't ask him. He would get a very strange look on his face.
Kind of quirks a brow. Okay.
Shrugs. Leaf has always been awkward when discussing women, so.
Okay. But yeah. No objection if there is an eventual caravan of people who want to make a living?
No. No.
Just nods. Seemed appropriate to ask first.
Of course.
I'll put the word out.
Bring word to your Alpha that when we are settled and the village is rebuilt, if there is anything they need in terms of aid, the Drake's company will come.
Of course. Happily, even.
Nod.
Well, till next time then.
He'll nod his head slowly. You look like you have something else to say.
Blinks a time or two. Like what?
I don't know. What do you want to say?
Kind of ruffles the back of her hair for a second. I don't know. Feel like I should say thank you for letting me come and see all this and do all this. I wish I'd learned more.
What have you not learned?
This was I mean, it was still educational. Jesus. Kind of glances around to the state of even this hall. But I've got a problem I've got to deal with back home, and I don't think I can apply most of this to my problem.
I think you could apply, you'll say, that you have seen what hope and seen why we fight. I think you can apply that to you. And anything you set your mind to. Look at this place. This is our place again.
Yeah.
Same way as our home is our place again. Same way as this will be a beacon for those who are at home who wish to take a journey to a new world and wander in it free. If anything, this should give you cause, not doubt. Don't be afraid of it. That's not what an Adrian does.
Gives a nod. Pulls herself up a bit. Guess it's not.
Walk over. From the table, he'll hand her like a small knife. This was the last thing my father gave to me before he went to fight, when the worm took over our land. Told me if you carry this, hold on to it, you can feel the strength. It's just an ordinary knife. The point he was trying to make is that if you give yourself belief that you can, that you will, no matter what happens, you carry that belief to you to the ends of the earth. Nothing will stop you. You'll just live.
Seems to have served you pretty well.
It has. And it will serve me to my dying day, whatever end that will be. So go with the same purpose. Go with the same fire. And don't forget their names that have fought beside you and died for it. They're your strength now. Don't mourn them. Carry them.
That bit finally kind of starts hitting home. A lot of this is things she can't really quite connect to. It's different than the way she thinks and the way she feels and the way she processes. But that at least she can nod to. Yeah.
They're not your weakness anymore. They're your greatest strength.
There.
Then I wish you luck. Know that this is a place that you can always call home if you choose it.
Thank you.
As one of the heads of the Ulrichsen clan, I deem you friend.
Gets a smile for that. At the very least. And thank you again.
Like I said, take care of the grim fuck.
Oh well.
And go be happy. Pat her on the shoulder and he goes back to his planning.
Yeah, she'll finally put her out to join up the group, make sure they haven't left without her.
No, they're all waiting. Helga seems to be doing some sort of ritual just by the edge of the village.
Yeah, she'll put her out and kind of like side eye over, like, wait.
Helga look over. What? You didn't think you're gonna walk all the way to fucking thingy?
Delblish shrug.
You're all transition into the Umbra.
Yes.
And she'll open up a moon bridge and look at you all. She gives Leaf a big hug and all that. And then she'll look at Alice. I'll see you for dinner.
I imagine you will.
Oh, I will. I'll make sure I have my very best dress on for you.
And a chill filled the air.
No. No. The Theurge will just like weirdly come over and like pat each of you on the forehead.
Like,
And yeah, he just does some weird blessing and says something weird in this Slavic language. Now go lean over to Charlotte. Take care of the big idiot, will you?
just kind of, slides a glance over. Of course.
Tell him there's more to life than reading. Pat her shoulder.
This grin.
Then you see, when you look off up the moon bridge, you see Woonford leaning, standing on bridge. Just gives you guys a wave as you're all fucking. I imagine y'all got you. Y'all fucking step on the moon bridge.
Yes.
Pat over. Do you say anything to each other while you're on the moon bridge over, like to any to these four people?
Alice looks at Leaf briefly and considers something and then doesn't. Just keeps running ahead.
She thinks about it real good, though.
Thinks about it.
Yeah, the rest are just padding along.
Yeah, sooner or later, fucking Charlotte's gonna slide up beside Maria, like hook the arm around her, like so.
Yeah.
You already finished all the stories and songs in your head? Grinning.
A few I. Got Adrian before me, you bitch.
Shrug. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'll tell a few. Just smile. Besides, I got a couple of work to do myself when I get back.
Oh, yeah?
I got a few plans.
Few plans.
Aye.
Are they devious plans?
You could say that.
There's like a squinty face.
Don't worry. I'll keep you clued in, but let's just say I've got a few plans. Don't worry. Just pats the back of your head.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and she'll just cling on to your arm. She just, seems quite happy with herself.
Yeah, given the opportunity, Charlotte will stay linked up with Maria and even like hang out over by Leaf or like hitch him up to. Fuck it. But whatever the case, yeah, she's perfectly happy to be walking back with this clusterfuck.
You land back in the Steps of Heartsfire. The first two people you see.
Those fucking faces, though.
As Alice, you land first, I'm going to say, for thematics wise, and you just see the bright, big, bushy hair.
I'm glad to see some shit ain't changed.
Just give you a smile, and Ragnar, like arms folded, leaning up against one of the umble trees. Cora just wave. Oh, you're alive.
Yep. In spite of many things' efforts to the contrary, including the ground.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, apparently watch out for shit in the ground these days.
I'm not surprised you try to fight with the ground, Alice, if I'm honest. I don't mean to be mean. You seem like the type that would have an argument with gravity.
The ground picked the fight with me.
Ragnar nods like, yeah, fuck that ground.
There's a light nod of like, she's not lying. Shrug.
Yeah, Cora just wander over. I got to do the thing.
Okay.
You all get cleansed.
Yay. So fresh and so clean.
Yeah, and you pitter around. Are you doing anything real quick? As Eric just seems to be marching off towards Torvi, towards the public housing. What are the rest of you doing?
Alice pads off towards Mr. Grimes.
The mountain. Oh shit. Yeah, this transition's really quick out of the Tellurian. Where's Mr. Grimes? Charlotte, where are you going so I can know exactly where you are?
I mean, she's initially gonna pause and chatter briefly to the two that were left to catch him at the entrance. Probably just asking Ragnar what the hell he's doing there if he's not puttering off with Eric.
I'm a guardian. God, walking
God.
past.
Oh.
I have duties, Charlotte.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
Far be it from
I
me.
take those duties very. Come on, Cor. We're gonna be late. Oh yeah, shit.
Great. I'll let him
Waddles after him
escape.
as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles plays in the background as they waddle off.
Yes.
As you go to the crags, and Alice, you'll see him there wandering along some of the trees. Is Rick Grimes? No, it's not Rick Grimes. It's Marcus.
We're back, Rye.
I noticed that.
Nobody from our group died.
Well, that's good. It's always good that nobody died. Thing number 3.
The Drakes lost a
Where'd you meet-
couple of theirs.
Oh, which ones?
Sigrun and Thrin.
Oh, Thrin didn't make it? Shit.
Last fight, he got hit and fucking electric fence did him in after.
Jesus. He was
Yeah.
one of his wives. Nice girl.
Yeah, I don't
Devastated.
even know how they're going to handle the whole 5 wives situation, but
I'll go have a talk. Find out what the story is.
on the bright side, the Cairn's secure.
Oh, look at that. Heard you made an Adrian too, number 3.
That
My girl.
that did happen, and I seem to have earned the eternal enmity of a vampire.
Just gives you that look for us in the gift, like, huh?
We thought we did her in, but she pulled some. She had some weird magic going on, and she made sure to let me know that now she was a sworn enemy of me and all of my blood. And yeah, I just told her to get the fuck out of my house.
They do like to announce them. Number 3, I was in Chicago. I know all about that. They like to announce themselves of how they're the most evil thing that you're going to come across. And whatever.
She did some fucked up shit out there, but that's all gone now.
Well, good. And what's room for a Sid?
Runefur has declared formally that once him and his people get settled with the Cairn down there, that they recognize the Sept of the Hearthfire as allies.
Well, look at you, number 3. So you go down there, fight like a crazy person, get a new deed name from what I'm hearing, and then you can bring me back in at number 3. You are. Look at that.
Wasn't all me. Charlotte did a lot of fancy talking.
I bet you did. Ditz is always good at that. Nice job, Alice.
Senpai used her name.
Zooms in. Do you know what I mean? What? Nice job.
Thank you, Rye.
Proud of you.
When I was out there, I made a call, and part of me knows that if I hadn't, a bunch of us would have died, but part of me also knows that I gave Sigrun an order and it got her killed. And I don't know how I feel about that right now.
Not gonna feel much things about it for a long time. Till you're a bit older. Start weighing on you. But you made the call. And people are living down there. Cairn is developed. Generations are going to develop even more. It gives our people a chance to thrive. And I'm sure from the homelands, those 2 people are glad you made the same call. People always like to say that the dead won't want it, but we don't have the luxury of the mortals. Our dead go home. And they died knowing that you made the right call. You get to meet them and shake their hand afterwards, knowing that you secured a future. So when you do think about it, think about what happens next when you see those cleats, cubs. You sit there and look at them. If I regretted every tough decision I made, I wouldn't be where I am, Alice.
I think I understand.
You make it. And you live with it. But don't look back. Only the ghosts are there and waiting for you.
Alice nods.
You know, you lean up again. You know, as he washes some of the water off his hands. My daughter probably about be your age. Well, she would have been, yeah. About your age.
Didn't know you had kids that early back.
I was a wild man. Did a lot of crazy things. Hell, did a lot of crazy things because I could. You know how it is.
Yeah, I do.
But I made a call. She would have been about, she was in a room, like you. And made a call to secure a border. She held the line. And I made that call knowing my daughter wasn't going to come back. Don't weigh on it. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. But don't let it override your entire life, Alice.
I won't ride.
Now go on, get out of here. You're getting all sentimental on me.
Alice pops up, bounds off to go be with her mountain.
The mountain's like, welcome home. All right, so I will transition over as Alice and the Mountain are reunited like old friend. Where are you going, Shard? The public housing?
Yeah, probably roughly in the direction of that, or even veering off towards Lena's, because that's where the whole family probably is. But yeah, she's walking out through, across the fucking Sept, probably planning to sling by. But yeah, the end goal is to end up at Lena's place, because that is where probably most of that section of the Trimbusan family is. But yeah, as she walks, the phone comes out, like it do, and she fires off the text to two people and keeps walking, knowing that sooner or later two people are going to be streaking across the fucking field. In different directions, mind you, but...
1 second. Whew, so many pictures.
Like at this rate, I'm pretty sure it's like pokes her head into the public housing, like, not dead yet! Just...
Nearly done. Just gotta get Freya.
So many.
And Felix. There we go. Whew. So you see, yeah, you poke your head into the Trimbusan family home. You can see actually Eric and Torvi outside in the garden. That's where Eric is heading straight away. And when you poke your head in, you'll see like they're all getting up, and like Freya and Felix are the first ones to answer the door to you. You know, probably both. Like, well, Felix first, then Freya.
Oh yeah, she's fully like braced for the potential tackle nature of her greeting, especially if she makes it all the way to the door.
Mm-hmm. Then and Samantha kind of are both watching, from the hallway.
I mean, yeah, she's fucking delighted. She made it back home. She's alive. This is as good as it can be right now. So yeah, when they hit the door and hit her at the door, yeah, she'll sling arms around people. She probably won't try to hold on to Freya for more than a second because let's face it, she's pretty sure Freya's running off.
Yep, she does. She kind of just zips off.
Yup. There's a brief knowing grin and then a proper like latch on to Felix.
Then he'll just lean up against the doorway. So, Anrai.
Eyebrow quirks.
Good to see you back.
Not on right anymore.
Smirks. I know you.
Grinning. Like, yeah, I'm a big kid, grin. Not trying to keep it formal. These are her people.
She'll just ruffle her hair. I'm still your dead mother, though, so.
You're still my cool aunt?
Yes. Well, I actually will be around.
Oh god, you actually will be my aunt. You'll be my
Not.
literal cool aunt instead of my figurative cool aunt. Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, and Felix, pecks you on the cheek and seems to be going in to essentially make you food.
Yeah, she will begrudgingly let him go.
Samantha just kind of goes back to pittering and, doing whatever she was doing. Then he'll lean over. He's been frantic all week.
Yeah.
So let him make his food for you and it'll be fine.
Everything been good around here while we've been gone? Anything crazy happen? Set's not on fire.
People have been doing the usual. Cora seems to be a bit more energetic in terms of leading some raiding parties. You'll have to go talk to the big guy. You know how he is. He'll want to talk to you straight away.
That's fair enough.
But I told him to give you some time,
Much appreciated.
But he wants to see you.
Yeah, gotcha. But yeah, we made good connections.
To nod. I hear Eric's going down there.
Yeah. I need him.
No, she nod. Just like me.
Just the nod, like, yeah, absolutely.
Torvi's been here.
How's it been?
She's quite endearing, but ruffles the back of her head.
But
She sees things.
here.
She doesn't see them. She's not mad, Charlotte.
No, I know.
But sometimes I've sat with her. There's not much I can do. I'm not a theurge, but I've seen the rituals take place.
Yeah, she does come on inside and like make sure the door's shut, follow her in, find a place to sit down.
She sits you away from Felix because you get the impression you're talking about serious guru business. You know what I mean? It's that type of thing.
She's probably finding like one of the side rooms and sitting right up next to her.
Yeah, you can actually see Felix working away essentially.
Aw.
They used to have them, and wolves moth too. They're more serious rituals, honoring gods, crafting specific runes for specific things. To see them a lot.
Sorry, what was the last bit?
You used to see them a lot,
Oh,
carving specific runes for specific things.
okay.
Some of the runes, I've read the symbols, and I don't envy the poor girl.
Is it bad?
Death, chaos, life, order. That's what the symbols meant.
So a lot of really contrary opposing things. Not good.
The symbol she'd carved them into was the symbol of like they were being joined together. I don't know. Throw her hands up. It seemed quite contrary.
Yeah. Jesus. Who normally translates that shit?
I mean, I can read the symbols because I've was taught to read them. But I don't know much. I'm not a theurge, like I said.
No, fair enough.
If you want to, I imagine you'll need Eric's permission, but you could take, if she has one, you could take a picture of the symbols she makes, or even describe them to any of the theurges on Sept. If it concerns you that much.
What happened to the last set?
She keeps hold of them.
Oh.
I'm not going to take them off her. She seemed quite panicked when I tried.
No, of course. Yeah, I'll check it out. Should probably do it before they go.
Just be gentle. This is an old world. These are old rituals, and you have to respect them as well as observe, okay?
There's a quick nod.
And don't act like, just a word of advice with the Carlos. Don't act like it's a great curse. They don't see it like that.
Why
They
would
believe
I?
that Torvi is touched by Gaia. And the people who came before her were. That's why most of them are theurges, you see. I'm just warning you, you're a glasswalker. This stuff is I imagine is very foreign to your people.
I mean, yeah, it's foreign, but why would I treat it like a bad thing?
People tend to do when they don't
Mhm.
understand.
Some people are assholes.
Uh-huh. Pats you on the head, and I seem to remember you making specific comments about the way we do things, young lady.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am an innocent, delicate little angel, and I have never said anything wrong in my life.
Well, go on and go talk to her before you start shouting my house down with my nephew.
Okay. Grins pops up. And we'll pause to at least like slip in, give Felix a peck on the cheek, and say she'll just be outside for a minute and let him know what's going on so he doesn't like come back around to the room and like freak out.
No, he nods and just tells you to go up, just smiles.
And yeah, just slide out back.
Yeah, Torvi is sitting there in the grass, you know what I mean? Eric, she gives Eric this big bright hug, you'll see it, and Eric kind of just rubs the back of her head. She sits there arranging the runes. He seems more contented, more relaxed, but you'll see her doing all that.
Yeah, she'll just ease out and kind of. I mean, again, she's not hiding her footsteps or anything. She's making sure Eric can hear her coming. Kind of
Yeah, Eric will look over.
shuffles a step or two, glances over, like, am I good?
He'll nod. Torvi will turn and give you quite an endearing smile. Oh, hello. You're back.
I am.
You're alive?
Yeah, seems like.
Did you win?
We did win.
Eric said you guys did.
We totally won.
gives a big, like, yes, good. You know, that type of smile.
Yeah.
It's going to be our new home.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I will build us a nice house.
I bet you will.
Yes.
Might even make it my business to come down and visit periodically.
That would be nice.
Is she like kind of focused on setting things out?
Yes and no. It's kind of you know the way the Carlos talk. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's right. Jesus.
Eric could just ruffle her and sit down beside her. You know, just again, he doesn't say anything. He's just watching her, studying her.
Honestly, Charlotte will probably kind of follow suit and just casually plunk down on the other side, making sure she's not like in Torvia's elbow space or obstructing her from doing what she's doing. But yeah, just kind of plunk down.
She'd look over at you. She keeps a hold of Eric's hand, like idly playing with it. You know, that kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Did you need something?
Well, for one, I wanted to come and check and see you were okay. You're gone a while.
I am good. The trees here are old and not as cold here.
Bet not.
No, the cold doesn't come for them.
You should bring some young trees with you to the new place.
She nods. I have my seeds.
There's plenty of room for them to grow there.
The cold will come for them too, which makes me sad.
They always endure the cold, don't they?
Always.
Come back fresh and blooming the next year.
Such is the nature of things.
I don't think they'd know what to do if it was any other way. Leans back, plops her hands behind her.
They would tear themselves apart. But then death would have no hold over order, and order would have no hold over chaos.
I'll take your word for it.
That is the way things were made. And that's why they went mad.
Is it?
Just look over.
These aren't the stories I learned.
Wouldn't you go mad if you could not see everything that you could control? And then it killed everything. Destroy the very things you wanted.
Couldn't say. Not a lot I control.
But you want to control everything.
It's nice to think it would be a solution.
The most purest kind. Should start, playing with Eric's hand. Eric's just watching her, his face full of concern.
She's just kind of head tilting. She's not getting agitated by any of it. She's not looking at her like she's crazy. She's just kind of trying to follow the flow of the conversation.
But then you discover that control is subjective. And in the end, chaos does reign. What would happen if chaos and death made a child? What would you do?
Well, if all I wanted was to control things, I'd probably try to control it.
Oh. Yes. Yes. She starts arranging the stones with one hand, very frantically.
She just kind of idly watches. She doesn't know what any of them mean. It's just, I mean, the motion is there, so she wants to look at it.
It forms a symbol.
She'll do her best to kind of like study it for a second, kind of remember what's where, but some of the runic system is very similar to each other. So,
Give me you got any occult there, Charlotte, buddy?
oh no,
Academics.
figured
'Cause you
that
do have
was
guru.
inappropriate to take.
I'm gonna give you academics because guru knowledge is guru knowledge.
Like glyphs, maybe, but like Norse runes, no.
It's like give me an academics roll. It'll be difficulty 8 though.
Okay, let me. What is my intelligence? Lateral problem solving. I don't know if that's going to help at all, but okay. These dice, this die roller. That's at least 2, maybe. Oh, there you go. It's 1. Yeah.
That's the symbol of the worm in the wild.
She studies it for a second thoughtfully and kind of glances around. Does she have the other pieces like laying out?
Yeah.
Is the weaver like set in a particular place in relation to
Yeah,
those two, even if it's separate?
On the outside of the symbol.
Guess it only makes sense.
It gets so cold.
Just offers out like idly on the other side offers out a hand. I'm sure that Eric is already kind of like rubbing, or actually is he responding to her saying it's so cold?
Yeah, he is. Oh yeah, he drapes his big long cloak around her.
I mean, Charlotte will offer a hand, but she's
She
already
does.
got the coat. And yeah,
She's
it's
warm.
just
She's
takes-
warm.
still takes the hand and puts the other one over it. Why is it so cold?
It's always cold. No, it's the pain, you see. Such cold.
What pain?
Of life. Of living.
Is living so painful?
Hmm?
Is living so painful?
Can be. It must be. Living always is painful.
But isn't it sometimes warm and beautiful?
Oh yes. Such is the nature of things. Beautiful. Warm and cold.
So, what if death and chaos made a child? What would it be?
Cold. But with a heart of fire.
Sounds like a very hard way to live.
Oh yes. Especially the way the wolf walks.
How does the wolf walk?
Black. Eyes burning. Not like the wolf. Death. But of glory. and dread. And her voice goes creepily deep.
Ugh. That'll be about where Charlotte finally has any visible reaction. She's been just kind of ambling with it, trying to help puzzle it out, try to understand. But that's about where the eyebrows kind of pop up a little bit like, oh, that wasn't totally weird. Ugh.
A dread wolf for a dread deed.
A dread deed.
All deeds need to be dread-filled in order to raise the banner. Eric will keep hold of her hands. Like, he doesn't try to shake her out of it, but that one eye is rage at watching his wife be like this, but concern too. It's that mixture.
Mm-hmm.
After all. She'd creepily turn her head. And her eyes are like, I wouldn't say they're glazed over, but they're so wide and big. A dread wolf is needed for what's coming.
What's coming?
The cold.
Does the cold have a name?
And she starts to cry. Like tears stream down her face. Can't say his name.
Why not?
It is painful.
Sorry.
Does not know how to speak. The sound. Can't you hear it?
I mean, she will listen for a moment because sometimes things trickle and you can never be sure it won't. So it's weird to do, but she will actually listen.
The wind howls. Like, and it feels like this weird vibration comes with the wind.
Is that its name?
I don't know. Maybe. It sounds so painful.
It must be painful to be both life and death.
Yes. And the singing Pegasus is in such agony. Going mad. Hearing the voice.
Who is in such agony?
The singing Pegasus. Singing Pegasus of night.
Must be.
She cries, for she knows she'll never hear it again. That's why she cuts her own eyes, to open them to further to see.
Why
The
does
death
she-
of something, the beginning of another.
Glance down again. Has she moved the runes at all?
She has.
How have they reorganized themselves?
The spiral is spinning, and the wild symbol spins with it, as if it's being awakened.
Like, as in she's drawn a spiral in the dirt, or is there
Yeah,
something that?
with her fingers, she starts to draw this weird. And the way she does it is, it's so hard to see from the dirt, but the way she does it is she arranges it like each runestone is placed at a specific thing. Then she begins to arrange the runestones out, and it looks like someone's spreading out their hands as if they're being awakened up. Like a fire is burning in them.
Does it have a place?
The cold. The cold. Where the wolf walks.
She thinks about it, tilts her head, kind of tries to take in the splay of these runes again, and finally asks, does it have its own mark?
Own work.
Its own mark.
Not yet. She closes her eyes and shakes. And what she will do is she'll stand up, start to pick up various stones. You intercede.
I am not going to stop her, no. They've already rearranged a couple times. The best I can do is try to commit to memory what seemed to mean what and how they were arranged.
Yeah, Eric kind of lets her stand up very gently. Stands beside Charlotte and lets Torvi do her thing, and he'll lean over. I told you. And like this since we've been up in Wolvesmore. Since we came from Bloodfist.
Kind of glances over. You think going further south will help?
Nods. It's the best I can try.
Think. Are there going to be ill side effects from it?
I don't know, Charlotte.
Sorry. Just know you've. Sorry.
And this is what the symbol will look like as she arranges the stone. She stands in the center, and she'll draw out what looks to be a tree, and then she'll go, "Do you have a knife?"
She glances over to Eric because she is not about to give someone who's half there a knife.
Do you need one, Helga? Not Helga. At Torvi. Yes. You walk over and take out the small little one.
Use my hand if you need to, Torvi.
No. Your blood will not work. You are order. Stand there.
She'll just move exactly where she's told to stand.
She'll hold on to Eric and take the knife, and you see the tiny little slit goes into her palm. She'll squeeze as Eric holds her hand very tenderly, carefully. The blood trickles down onto the drawing of the tree. A blood-red tree. You see? With blood-red leaves.
I see.
And she points, and this is essentially what she's arranged the various stones into. Not as grand as this.
Much smaller image of it.
Yeah.
Little pebbles. Torna,
Yeah.
How similar is this to the way things were arranged at that cabin? Because I want to say the spiraling image of those trees was very similar.
Similar, but there was no. The way the symbols have been extended, it's almost designed to fit in with the symbol of the wild, as if both symbols are being pulled into each other. The worm symbol, yes, very similar,
Yeah.
but there's like a new addition to it.
Yeah, she just, again, she's gonna take it in, take mental notes as hard as she fucking can. Where is she stood? Like, especially if Torvi told her to stand in a very particular place. Where is it?
On the very edge, gazing in.
On the outside looking in.
Yep. Exactly like she showed the Weaver, Worm, and Wild.
Yeah, she takes note.
The broken Pegasus of night. She points into like the fourth pebble in. Is there.
Oh,
Weeping.
she'll crouch down a little. She won't move her feet. She'll crouch down to look at the image from Mora down on its level. Who else is here?
All of us. The dread. She points into the sixth circle. Is there.
Glances over, marks it again in her head.
He
Tries
is.
to pick out like notable little traits on each pebble that's specifically pointed out.
The fourth one is madness. That's what that glyph means.
Oh
The
boy.
sixth symbol, the glyph, means war. And then there are three other symbols. One of a gleaming eye, one of a harrier, one of a crescent moon, and one of a great eagle. The harrier has, from what you can tell, she's drawn on the stone, the pebble. Looks like the harrier is being weighed down by something. And the gleaming eye looks distorted, like something's like she's scratched like half of the eye out.
If I hunker down and like lean in to look a little bit, can I see what's on the harrier pebble or on the stone?
It looks, she's with the kind of black black chalk. It's like blackness is coming over its wings.
Okay. She'll finally, ease back up. And a glance over to Torvi. May I make an image of this so that I will remember what you've told me?
She blinks and is cuddled into Eric, and she stares.
May I take a picture
Of Eric and I.
of you two, but also of this? Kind of like gestures the hand down.
Oh. Yes.
Thank you. And yeah, the phone will come out, but she will initially she'll initially take, just making sure that she's holding it still, getting the whole thing, including where her feet are. We'll take a quick snap of that, and then with Torvi seeming to be a little more aware of herself, we'll actually go ahead and take a picture of them, because you know what, she can print it out decently and send it to them, and they can have one to put in their home. Fuck it.
Take a picture of it, and Torvi will look at Eric. When did you get back? You just smile. Just now. Just smile. I'll go in and make food. After all, you both must be... She turned and smiled at Charlotte. You won after all. You both must be hungry.
Did one.
Just smiled and popped the little green hood over her big, thick, red hair with the feathers in it, and we'll start to walk inside towards Felix.
Does she leave
Kitchen.
the whole thing just splayed out on the ground?
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry.
She'll look back, though, and say, scramble it. It's bad to leave the ruins alone. Make sure you put them back in a pile.
Of course.
She was just idly kicking the stones away as she's walking as well.
She doesn't seem to care where they land.
Nope.
Yeah, she's snagged the picture, so yeah, she'll go ahead and with a foot start smearing the whole thing, glancing over to Eric.
Concern is the best thing he has on his face, you know what I mean?
At least she seems to
Like
be
a-
alright.
Yes. For now, she will be until she sleeps. Then she'll start crying.
She continues just kind of idly sweeping a foot, moving along, sweeping things around. You're a stronger man than I realized.
Look over. What do you mean?
Just kind of shakes her head. Still looking at the ground. It's the hardest thing to fight. Things you can't.
It is not her fault.
Oh, of course not. Kind of picks the head up. Of course not.
I told you we carry things. I married her. It is my duty to carry some of her burden for her. I made that commitment.
Pardon as I scroll down for a second. Ugh.
What you looking for?
Shit, he moved. Where is he? I was looking for Eric's full name.
Fellhart.
Is that his deed
Eric?
name?
Eric Fellhart Trimson.
She just finally assumes that she's bumped everything at least a little bit and glances up. You're a good man, Eric Trimbuson.
Thank you, Charlotte. We'll be staying another day before we go south. I don't want to rush her.
Oh, of course not. Do whatever needs doing.
Besides, she says she wants to collect some more things for the journey.
Just nods.
He'll just start walking inside to where Torvi is.
She will follow suit.
You joining it there, Katie?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, bye.